Hi guys, it's so nice to see you. Here I am to answer your weekly question in an all new format in the landscape mode. Okay, I'm gonna stop with that now and get to the question. Today's question comes from a talent bomb. She's an amazing artist. It comes from Anushka, and the question itself is testimony to how contemplative and reflective Anushka is. Right? The question is, how do you cope with your job when you're not feeling too positive? How do you immerse yourself in a very happy celebration and that sort of a vibe when you are not doing well internally? This is such a good question that I had to ask more of my friends to sort of give their perspectives to it. So first of all, who doesn't have bad days, right? All of us, literally all of us, know what it is like to sort of wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Bad days, difficult times, and pain. This is something that is common to us all. In fact, pain is something that connects all human beings, I think, because literally through the history of mankind, pain has been a constant, right? And it has been a very integral part of the human experience. So, what do I do when I feel pain or when I have a bad day? And how do I still immerse myself in super happy sort of an environment? Um, First of all, I have learned to not resist pain. This has come after a lot of practice. It's not something that I was used to doing, but I have learned after a lot of efforts to not resist pain, to not resist anything unpleasant or shitty feelings, because pushing them away has clearly not worked for me. In fact, every time I've pushed them away, they've come up at the most unfortunate of times and then messed things up for me. So I don't do that anymore. Bad days are just bad days. I let myself have bad days. I am also someone who gets extremely affected by what is happening around me, by the external stimuli, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. It can be a good thing because I think it really helps me to do my job well. I think people hire me to sort of be one with the vibe and capture it with authenticity, and that's something that I have learned to do, and I like doing it. At the same time, if the vibe is judgmental and toxic, I get equally affected. So that can be like, it's a double-edged sword. It can sometimes really be crippling. um, but here's what I have learned. Okay, here's a technique that I've sort of devised for myself. Most of the times I am in a space where I can invite happiness into my mind while being in pain. I think it's totally possible to be happy and in pain at the same time, or being happy and feeling unpleasant within you at the same time. It's completely possible, is what I think. Right? It's kind of like this whole idea of suspension of disbelief. Wow, look at me doing German inverted commas, suspension of disbelief. um, which is this whole idea of suspending your ability to logically analyze things because you want to enjoy or be a part of an experience. Imagine it in this way, right? Like, think of magic tricks. Like, we know that the magician is not doing real magic. We are absolutely clear about that. At the same time, we willingly forego this whole idea of analyzing what he or she is doing, just because we want to be amazed, we want to feel that catharsis. I think that is what I have learned to do. And this, of course, came to me when I was thinking about this question and while I was attempting to answer it, right? So I must thank Anushka for asking this question, because I'd never thought about it with so much clarity. um, of course, there are also days when I can still not do this. When I cannot invite happiness and let happiness and pain coexist within me. There are times when I just can't do it, and when that happens, I have two options. I can either tell myself to suck it up and still do my job because I was hired to do a good job on this particular day when the bride and the groom were getting married, and this cannot be rescheduled. So I tell myself to be sad on a different day and still do the job. Or if I'm shooting with my team, which most of the times I am, I I have the option of having complete faith and trust my team, complete faith in my team's ability, and trust my team to do the emotional hard work while I take a back seat and do the safe shots. And I've done that. I've done that so many times, and my team has come to my rescue. And it's amazing, and it's so important to shoot with the right kind of people. I think that is the end of my own answer. Let me now also read out the answers by Richa, Varun, Ankit, and another photographer friend who wishes to be anonymous. Okay, here's what Richa says about this. Let me read out her answer. Richa says, when I was going through a terrible breakup, it was shitty to shoot someone else's love story. But I had to go through it anyhow, because what option did I have? Thankfully, most of the times, heartbreaks are limited in time, so they pass eventually. Apart from this, if you are unhappy for other reasons, I think it is much easier to keep it aside, or rather, much easier to allow yourself to get absorbed in the celebrations in front of you. After all, you having a shoot is a good thing in itself, and you earning money at a job that you relatively like is also a good thing. This answer is very, very helpful, very short, and I really like it. Here's what Varun has to say about it. Similar in nature. Varun says, for me, photography, even wedding photography, though I more often complain about it, is very much like playing a sport or working out. When I'm at it, all my mind knows is the form, the reps, and the movement. The brain completely blanks out with respect to everything else. Few years ago, I was going through a painful breakup and used to often wonder how I was going to shoot all these weddings to see other couples arrive at long term commitments and me having to document their happiness whilst being so sad on the inside. But strangely, the moment I picked up the camera, the rest of the world just disappeared. And that's always been the case. No matter how exciting or dull or beautiful or boring the wedding is, camera to the eye keeps the worries of the world away. I think that's a beautiful way of putting it. Okay, here's what another friend of mine has to say about this. When I started off with photography, I knew I wanted to be a part of weddings, and that is exactly what I did. I loved being in this happy space because I was in a happy space, and it was very easy for me to connect with that. Everything was going really well until I myself was suffering in my personal life. My marriage was falling apart, and I still had to go see other people get married and had to be a part of their happiness when I was really, really suffering inside. I made a lot of mistakes then. But then I learned that I cannot do anything about my marriage. I tried, and then it was no more in my hand to make it successful. But what used to make me sad started making me happy. Being a part of the weddings, being at someone else's wedding, being a part of their happiness and their happy day somehow started making me feel happy and more responsible to make sure that everything goes well wherever I'm concerned. I think I'm most thankful for this lesson in life, that whatever it is you're going through, if you make yourself a part of others' happiness, I think it rubs off on you. And then eventually I found my happy space. I started being comfortable in my space, and that gave me confidence. Somehow this profession has taught me a lot on dealing with personal struggles. I have become better at handling them, looking at my problems from a different perspective, and I have really changed because of that. I've become a better, calmer, clearer person, and I'm thankful towards my profession for having helped me with that. This is so honest and so mm, yeah, it's actually it gives language to a lot of things that I myself have struggled through in life. And here comes the last. This comes from my friend Ankit, who has also been a wedding photographer for a long time. He says, I deeply connect with my work on an emotional level. How I feel internally does, has to, and should affect how and what I photograph. Photography is a very human process, but at the same time, I do understand that when I'm photographing a wedding, I have a lot riding on me. Someone has entrusted me and my art for one of the most important days in their lives. I cannot let my personal problems or emotional struggles affect my job in any way. Often, whenever I am having a bad day, I and I have to shoot on the same day, I try to lift myself up, tell myself to be strong, to remember that I quit my job for this, that there's a bride out there totally banking on me and my craft. Music has always been therapeutic, so that helps too. Sometimes I personally involve myself into one of the umpteen fuck ups that that are there on usually on wedding days, and I try to offer help, which in turn helps me digress from my own problems. But yes, there have still been days where everything fails and I still feel like shit, and that is when my experience of shooting 115 couples comes into play. I've gradually conditioned myself to switch on and off. I vividly remember vividly remember from the film Mera Naam Joker, R.I.P. Rishi Kapoor, when the protagonist, a joker, is going through a terrible time in his own life, and yet he shows up every time on the stage and does what he's meant to do. I think that last bit, Ankit, is so relevant, right? You talk about having bad days for people who are in the performing arts. Think about actors, theater actors, musicians, singers, dancers, comedians, all these people who have to go on stage and perform their art no matter what they feel inside. Right now I'm just thinking about how shitty it must feel for comedians to make other people laugh when they themselves are feeling shitty inside. Like, that's just different level. Anyway, that is the end of this week's question, or this week's answer rather. I hope that this was helpful to you, Anushka, and I would love for you to sort of add to it as much as you can, and I look forward to more such questions from you. Thank you so much for this wonderful question. Okay guys, thank you so much for listening to me. Stay safe. Bye.